Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Kamarina binti Hamza. Today I will present my final year report project, which is titled Sentiment Analysis on Covid-19 Vaccine. This project was supervised by Puan Azilawati binti Azizan. For introduction, what is Covid-19? The world is in the midst of a Covid-19 pandemic. Covid-19 is an illness caused by a new coronavirus strain. The letters CO, VI, and D stands for corona, virus, and disease, respectively. This disease was previously known as 2019 novel coronavirus. In order to fight against the disease, a vaccine for COVID-19 has been developed, which has sparked feelings of relief for many people. However, the COVID-19 vaccine has gained public people attention. Next, what is COVID-19 issues? The issues is COVID-19 vaccine can sometimes induce symptoms like fever, and some people may have an acute allergic reaction to any vaccine. They still can be vaccinated, but they should be warned about the risk of a severe adverse reaction. Because of these issues, some individuals are not confident with the vaccine effectiveness, and there has been a public concern on COVID-19 vaccine on Twitter platform, where the thought and opinion of the issue are presented and exchanged. Therefore, sentiment analysis are chosen as a solution. Sentiment analysis are significant to identify an opinion and understand people's feelings on certain issues or topics. There is three types of approach, which is machine learning, rule-based approach, and lexicon-based approach. Sentiment analysis are used to identify people's sentiment on COVID-19 vaccine. The result of the outcome will be in visualized data. The problem statement: the debate over vaccine progress, accessibility, efficacy, and side effect is continuous, and it appears in news and headlines on Twitter on a daily basis. People will have heard a variety of information about COVID-19 vaccine over the course of the pandemic. The information might be accurate and inaccurate. As a result, some people are feeling doubt and not confident to take the vaccine. According to the survey conducted in 27 countries, 1 out of every 4 people would refuse to receive COVID-19 vaccine due to concerns about side effects and doubts about its effectiveness. Therefore, this project will propose an effective method and approach that are suitable to identify people's sentiment on COVID-19 vaccine by using Twitter data. The result will be displayed in various data visualization. For project objective, first objective is to identify suitable methods and approach used for sentiment analysis. Second is to categorize the sentiment into its polarity categories. Lastly is to visualize the result of people's sentiment on COVID-19 vaccine. For project scope, the research will be conducted on collected data from Twitter tweets related to COVID-19 vaccine. The data collected will cover all worldwide tweets. However, only tweets in English language will be selected. For method and approach chosen for sentiment analysis, machine learning approach are used to develop the sentiment analysis, and support vector machine technique are chosen because a study found that most researchers use this approach and method, and it gave better result than the other approach that they perform in their case. The evaluation metric chosen is precision, recall, and F-score. An evaluation result from a study shows that SVM classifier with precision, recall, and F measure have better performance compared to other feature sets. Method and approach for data visualization. Dashplotly in Python library are chosen to build a several kind of graph from the dataset of sentiment analysis result. Then a Dash framework are used, which is a library to build an interactive web-based application in Python. Another visualization of sentiment analysis is the word cloud. Word cloud packages are needed to visualize the most frequent word used by user. All the components are visualized in a form of a dashboard. For the methodology, first step of the methodology is data collection. At this stage, data are collected through social media, which is Twitter. Most people express their feelings and opinions through social media. Therefore, it is a best platform to collect data for sentiment analysis. Some special programming languages such as R or Python are used to retrieve and collect data. In second stage, text preparation, or known as pre-processing, is where the data is filtered before analysis. Some process of removing are including removing the irrelevant data, noisy special character, punctuation, stop word, tokenization, and URL, as well as stemming technique. After filtering the data, now the data can be examined for its subjectivity in sentiment detection stage. Basically, in this stage, a sentence are divided into two, which is sentence with subjective expression and sentence with objective expression. Only sentence with subjective are retained to be processed in next level. The sentence are then will be processed and classified into its group of positive, negative, and neutral. A classification step involves a method or classifier such as SVM to classify the tweets. Then the final output are usually displayed on various visualization such as pie chart, bar graph, and line graph. Hardware and software requirement. Asus laptop are the hardware that will be used in performing this project, with a specification of 8GB of RAM, 1TB storage, and Intel Core processor. While for software, an Anaconda software and Jupyter Notebook are used, which to perform coding in Python programming language. And the documentation of the project will be done using Microsoft Word and Draw.io tools. Google Chrome are used as a supporting tools, and the project will be run on Windows 10 64-bit operating system. For the project design, the project are designed as a dashboard. First, users are directed to the dashboard page. In the dashboard page, there will be 5 visualization of the sentiment analysis. First, user will select the date, then the dashboard will visualize and update data based on the date. User can view a line chart to know the overall sentiment around vaccine based on the date pick. Next, user can view a pie chart that display a percentage of vaccine type mentioned, such as AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Moderna, and many others. A filter option are available for user to filter the vaccine type to be displayed in the pie chart. Next is a pie chart, which is user can view a percentage of each sentiment, which is positive, negative, and neutral. It also have a filter function that filter the sentiment type. On top of that, user also can view top tweet from Twitter related to Covid-19 vaccine that display in a data table style. These top tweets are read based on the count of the retweets. Another visualization available in the dashboard is word cloud. This word cloud visualizes prominent words in the text that frequently used or appear. Project development. First is the data collection process. A scraping method are used to fetch data from Twitter. This is because it found out that scraping can scrape or fetch more data and consume less time. There is a lot of scraping package or library to scrape Twitter data, such as Twin, TP, Selenium, and SNS Scrape. but not all packages can be used since Twitter application might have changed their front end. Therefore, SNS script packages are used in this project. The requirement is to have a Python version 3.8 or higher for it to work. Then install the scraping package into Python platform. And then import the pandas and start coding. In the coding, we need to define the date, which is in this project, we define the date from January to October 2021 and insert our keyword such as COVID-19 vaccine. Then we insert the number of tweets that need to be fetched and define attributes such as ID, text, retweet count, and many others. Lastly, run the code and wait for a few minutes and save it into a CSV file. This table shows some of the SNS script attributes. First, we have a date, the date that the tweet was created. Next is the text content of tweet, username, count of retweet, count of like, hashtag used by the user, user ID, and count of replies. Pre-processing. The data that have been collected must be cleaned first before moving to the next step in sentiment analysis. Python provides a neat text library, which is a package for cleaning text data and pre-processing text data. Neat texts are used to clean sentences such as remove URL, hashtag, emoticon, multiple spaces, and special character. This helps to solve reducing noise in text. A new clean text will be saved into the dataset. Next method used in pre-processing is stop words removal. Stop words can be referred as useless words, which commonly used as the and or in. In order to remove this kind of words, we need to import an LTK, which is a natural language toolkit library that stores a list of stock words in many languages. Since the dataset is in English word, therefore we will be use a list of stock words in English. This is the example of the clean text with the sentiment assigned. Next step, data classification. The dataset will be trained and classified by using train test split library. A classification support vector machine classifier are used. SVM use kernel function to transform the data points from non-linearly separable space into linearly separable space. In this project, we use linear kernel function. After that, classification reports are printed to display the accuracy score of the model, which include precision, recall, and the F-score. The table shows the accuracy of the model that used SVM classifier. So the overall accuracy is around 98%, which is quite higher for all types of the evaluation score. Lastly, data visualization. Once our step in sentiment analysis is done, the dataset are ready to be visualized into a graph of information. The dataset are visualized by using Plotly in Python, which is a graphing library, and a Dash framework in Python are used. Dash is an open source and allows to create interactive web-based application. In this project, a dashboard are created to display all the information. They are line chart, graph, pie chart, word cloud, and data table. While word cloud library are used to create a visual representation of text data in our dataset. Data table are visualized using a Dash data table component library. The table shows the component and dataset column used in it. First, we have line chart, The line chart is the date and polarity variable. Next, the first pie chart, we use Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Sputnik variable in the dataset. For the second pie chart, a sentiment variable are used, which is in account type of variable. Next, the data table use a hashtag variable. And for the kite, we use a sentiment, which is also in account type for each type of sentiment. This is the list of the features in the dashboard. First, we have a line chart. It allows users to view overall average polarity of people's sentiment around vaccine from January to October 2021. Next, we have pie chart that display a percentage of each type of vaccine that was mentioned in all the tweets collected. It allows users to filter which type of vaccine will be shown in the pie chart. The second pie chart is it displays a percentage of each sentiment, which is positive, negative, and neutral. We also have a filter function for users to choose which sentiment to be shown in the pie chart. Next is a word cloud that allows users to view most frequent word used in all the tweets. Next, we have a date picker. The date picker allows users to filter the date of the data shown in the graph. Next feature is the table. The data table offers users to view top tweet, which is based on the tweet with the most number of retweets. Next is we have a positive tweet features, which display total of all positive tweets. Next is display total of all negative tweets and display all total of neutral tweets. This is the snapshot of sentiment analysis dashboard. For testing, the evaluation metrics of precision, recall, and F-score are used to evaluate and test the accuracy of the model. As referred to the table, it shows the report of the accuracy of precision, recall, and F-score for three types of sentiment, which is positive, negative, and neutral. As observed, the overall accuracy is around 98% when using linear kernel. Meanwhile, the overall accuracy is 96%, 91%, and 83% for RBF, sigmoid, and polynomial kernel. Therefore, linear kernel shows the best accuracy than the other three kernels. Since this project used linear kernel SVC, it proved that the model is quite accurate. As a conclusion, a sentiment analysis on COVID-19 vaccine was developed. The objective of this project is to identify a suitable method and approach used for sentiment analysis. This project has argued and explained that the machine learning and support vector machine classifier are better to design this project. The approach chosen was well explained in Chapter 2, and next the purpose of this study is to categorize the sentiment into its polarity categories. This project has categorized the Twitter tweet into three types of sentiment, which is positive, negative, and neutral. Then the accuracy of the sentiment classification was well explained in Chapter 4. Other than that, this project was undertaken to visualize the result of people's sentiment on COVID-19 vaccine. Therefore, the sentiment analysis was designed as a dashboard that displays information in several kinds of graphs and visualization. The development and design of this project are also well explained and can be referred in Chapter 3 and 4. For the limitation and recommendation, this sentiment analysis was aimed to help government as well as public people to observe people's perception and thoughts on COVID-19 vaccine through this pandemic. so that they can make better decision and action by referring to the current situation or issues related to COVID-19 vaccine. The limitation of this project is the data fetched and collected are not in real time. Therefore, further research in data collection are needed to improve the accuracy and functionality of this project. It would be more better to have a real-time database to monitor and investigate the current situation precisely and provide a better insights for future. This is the system demo. So this is the sentiment analysis on COVID-19 vaccine dashboard. It visualizes the overall sentiment analysis on COVID-19 vaccine. So in the first row, we have the title and then the date picker, which we can pick the date to display the data based on the date. And next, we have a card component that display the total of positive tweet, total of negative tweet, total of all neutral tweets. Then we have the line chart that display the overall sentiment around vaccine. So for example, here we can see in 3 February 2021, the average polarity is 0.099, which means that the sentiment's polarity is positive. And then besides the line chart, we can see the data table, which we can view the top tweet with the number of the retweets. And then next, we have the pie chart of the vaccine type mentioned. We can see the percentage of every type of vaccine mentioned. Here we can filter the vaccine type. For example, we only want to choose Pfizer, AstraZeneca and BioNTech. So then it will update the pie chart. Next, we have a pie chart of the percentage of sentiment. It displays the percentage of sentiment, which is we have positive, negative and neutral. We also have filter function to filter the type of the sentiment. For example, we filter only neutral and positive, and then it will update the pie chart. Next, we have the word cloud. This word cloud display the most frequent word used in the tweet that posted by the user. For example, we have COVID vaccine, Moderna, Covaxin, and many other as. These word cloud are based on the hashtag used by the user in the tweet. Then we go back to the top. For example, we want to filter the date. We pick the date. For example, 1 March 2021 to until 1 August of 2021. Then we can see the visualization are updated, as well as the pie chart and the word cloud. So that's all for the system demonstration. Thank you.